When I first started playing The Witcher 3 about a decade ago, I was most excited to go to Skellige. There were so many little islands that you can travel to anytime you want without a load screen or anything. You can swim to them if you want. And the views from those snow covered mountains, that's what I was looking forward to the most. But before I could go there, I had to make a pit stop in Novigrad, which is the biggest city in the map. But what's so special about a medieval city? We've seen plenty of those, but once I started exploring, my trip to Skellige kept getting postponed. It's the biggest city in the map, but if you just look at the size, it's a very small part of the overall map. But Novigrad is dense, filled with people going through their routines. It is jam packed. Novigrad reminds me of Paris in Assassin's Creed Unity. Not the biggest size wise, but it's so dense and feels like a real living city. See, you can even do a little parkour, or maybe not. Paris in Unity is one of my favorite game worlds. It had many interiors you could explore. It was a three-dimensional city with multiple levels to explore in some buildings. Novigrad is just like that. When you enter the city, you will encounter the lower class. As you go along and the city rises, you come across nobles. This is a Witcher game, so monsters lurk in the shadows, of course. There are caves to explore. I actually ran into one when I accidentally fell off a cliff, trying to take pics by the way. Then did some parkour to end up fighting this golem. All this happened by mistake, which encourages exploration. The main theme in The Witcher 3 is nothing is as it seems. Living in Novigrad is a big privilege, with the Church of the Eternal Flame guarding them. Monsters aren't supposed to exist here, but they do, of course. It's not as storybook like Toussaint, but in the main map, Novigrad is as close as it gets. Kuttenberg has a big advantage being designed 10 years after Novigrad, which still sounds so wrong. How is The Witcher 3 11 years old now? Come on. Kuttenberg is the biggest city in KCD2 and it feels that way. The Trotsky area that you explore in the first half is already massive, but it is mostly wilderness with towns in between, and I loved it. This isn't a fantasy world. Developers can't just spawn a dragon to keep players engaged. KCD2 keeps players engaged with dialogue, in my opinion. The overarching story is good, but the little conversations you have is what keeps you engaged. You come across people in need, messengers who want you to beat them up, soldiers who want to woo women with your help. These aren't sprawling stories, but they are entertaining, no doubt. As far as side quests go, I prefer the Trotsky area more. Quests were more varied because we are in a city, there's less crime, less danger, so some quests just felt like errands. I am strictly talking about quests in the city. Some of them will take you out for adventures, but that's not what we are looking at right now. Novigrad is absolutely beautiful. When I first played the game, I used to dive into water canals all the time. First, because of the water graphics, it looks like an oil painting. Makes sense with the amount of oil in the water in the city. Second, Geralt's dive animation looks so cool, which sounds weird, I know. That is just one part of the city. You have stunning views left and right once you go towards the edge of the city. The architecture is super realistic but still beautiful. The vibrant color palette, sunsets in Welland and Novigrad during the day is when the game looks its best in my opinion. And of course storms in Skellige. And how did I forget Toussaint all the time? Witcher 3 is a stunning game, no doubt. Kuttenberg is a recreation of an actual city. If you're into medieval architecture, I am sure you will love walking around just admiring the buildings. Devs have tried to make the city as historically accurate as possible and it shows. On first glance, it might seem plain, but after running around in the wild, being in a city full of people was a breath of fresh air. I have brought up Unity already, but Paris was also historically accurate in game, but the difference is the population. Kuttenberg isn't jam packed with people, it is a much smaller city than Paris, but it feels more alive. NPCs have their own lives, not surface level routines either. They have jobs, they have conversations that don't involve you at all. Some of the funniest dialogue you will hear is NPCs talking with each other. If you bump into these NPCs, they might start yapping with you as well. I met a drunk guy who I thought was gonna ask me for money, but no, he was just celebrating the birth of his son. That didn't lead to a quest, it was just a random, believable encounter that makes a city feel real. Side quests don't feel like side quests. Even in The Witcher 3, with its absolutely amazing side quests, main story missions felt just a little better, or a little more complex, or just plain longer. In KCD 2, side quests and main quests are the same. They are optional, of course, but quality wise, they are the same. And that's the reason I spend so much of my time scouring every nook and corner in Kuttenberg looking for quests. The Witcher 3 was the first game wherein I was more interested in cutscenes than actually playing the game because of the writing, the characters. Seriously, I don't know how, but I like almost every character in game, good or bad. Novigrad, a city full of people, is the place to be. I was trying to talk to everyone to see if it would lead to a quest. Main characters sometimes show up in side quests, and as I have said, I like so many characters in this game. It's actually nuts. I usually like the protagonist and maybe a side character, but not here. This was 2015, so side quest givers were different than other NPCs, but still, I was greeting everyone. Novigrad side quests, much like Kuttenberg, are different. You have monster contracts, but you will deal with people more often, and that is not a problem at all. The writing is insanely good for even one time characters, and because it is a fantasy game, quests are more varied. From angry godlings playing pranks to Lambert popping up out of nowhere to good old Gwent, you never know what you're gonna get. While I enjoyed random encounters more in KCD 2, especially trying to lie with the worst liar imaginable in Henry, side quest I have to give it to The Witcher 3. At least Novigrad side quest for now. Every quest introduces me to a character I end up loving. I had a ton of fun exploring both of these cities. I like them for different reasons. Kuttenberg for its realism, random encounters, interesting NPCs with their realistic behavior, Novigrad for its beauty, side quests, and characters. I am gonna give it to Novigrad by a small margin. I like the characters more, I loved the side quest, and I loved admiring such a beautiful city. We're gonna put all of The Witcher 3 against Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 soon, so subscribe for that. If you want to see Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 compared with Red Dead Redemption 2, both known for realistic game worlds, click the video on screen. For now, like, comment and subscribe, and have a great day wherever you are.